Today we'll be exploring Vaisakhi, the most well-known and celebrated festival in the Sikh calendar. We all know the common narrative, but in this episode we'll go beyond that with the help of J.S. Gurewal's Master of the White Hawk and have our questions answered by Dr. Kamleep Singh. Together we'll explore Guru Gobind Singh Ji, the goddess, and Naina Devi. What actually happened? So join us today as we take a journey down the rabbit hole of written sources regarding Vaisakhi. Be sure to check out the other extracts or listen to the full podcast episode to find out more. Two last bits that I just want to cover. I know we've been talking for almost 2.5 hours and I'm really grateful that I managed to kind of get that much of your time. So probably the most controversial bit, because it's I think most misunderstood, which is the role of the goddess, so to speak, quote unquote. Now, Chaupai Singh says that the creation of the Khalsa is preceded by the invocation of, in Gurewal's words, not mine, the warlike Devi. What is interesting is Chaupai Singh's story accounting the Devi story is omitted from later copies. So there's a copy of Chaupai Singh's Ratnama that was housed in the Sikh reference library and was destroyed in 1984. But in that copy, the reference to the Devi is taken out. There is like it's been expunged. Gaur Singh says that Guru Sahib also invoked the goddess to create a new panth. Gurewal mentions that the story of the goddess is introduced by several Sikh writers in the 18th century, but is now treated as a myth. One thing that I think has become quite clear through everything that we've been discussing is these pre-colonial texts are actually all pretty accurate and are all actually pretty much in agreement. We have discussed some differences, but they're all pretty...
All of them have the episode of the Devi.
Yeah.
Right?
So is it just the fact that our modern religious sensibilities has expunged anything in reference to being Hindu and therefore this goddess stories had to be cut out? Or is there more to it? Like, what is going on? Like, first of all, I guess people would ask, did that happen?
It did happen.
Okay, so what is the...
Historically, we can say it happened 100%.
Okay, so what's the evidence and how does the story go?
Well, the evidence is, number one, that a Brahmin family who were the Purohits, they were the administrators of Guru's court. They arranged this havan and Guruji blessed them with a plate, which is mentioned in Sikh history. It's mentioned in Siddhartha Maharaj.
Is this the copper plate?
Yeah, the copper plate. That's still there. The local people know that happened. In the Atiyas, it says Guruji went there. So you got the copper plate, you got this whole episode, you've got the copper plate mentioned in the 18th century.
Yep.
So, and it still exists. And then you've got the whole connection with the Devi and the Dasam Granth, Chandi Divar, Ugra Danti, Pagoti Stotar, the Durga praises to the Mata in Akal Ustat, and then, the Siri Pagoti Ji Sahai, and then the Hemkund Sahib narrative, and there's all this connection, Chaupai Singh Ratnama, Surya Prakash, the list is endless, right?
Yep.
Which modern day Christian Sikhs don't like, or the Singh Sabha Sikhs don't like, who have a scientific worldview. But for people with a mythological worldview, which I subscribe to that world, cosmology, is it's just all a part of our view.
Yeah.
But there's something unique in it. Let's first start with what fits the Hindu narrative, What we could say is the Shakti cult of India, Because Hindu narrative doesn't... If I say Hindu, what is it? Is it Shiv Puja? Shaivite? Is it Krishna Bhakti, Vaishnava?
Yeah.
And this is to do with the Shakti cult, right?
Yeah.
So this is one particular sampradaya of India.
What order?
Yeah. So it's not like you can't say Hindu either.
Yeah.
And again, they throw them all together.
Yeah.
And you can't, right?
They're all very different.
So let's look at the Shakti cult of India, which worships the feminine forms of the divine. First thing, the Rig Veda doesn't say you have individual gods. It says that you have Par Brahm, Parameshwar, which is in the Purushoktam, like Surpurk in Gurbani. It's talking about the oneness of the divine. It says, out of the oneness of the divine, there are many attributes, and those attributes shine out as gods.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so even Hindus know that Kali Ma is not God.
Yeah.
She's like an angel. She's one manifestation of God. So what first thing is disconnects the Hindu Dharma and the Sikh Dharma.
Yep.
Right? Actually, when Guru Nanak does Aarti at Jagannath Puri, he does it out of what people miss, and I can't believe people miss it. He is doing that Aarti to say to them, why have you made an idol of God?
Yeah.
Because Jagannath Puri, they've made one of Par Brahm Parameshwar, of the Mahavishnu, which in the original Brahmanic tradition, you could make one of a Deva, but not one of God.
Okay.
But there, they've gone to the next level where they've made one of God.
Yeah.
Right? And so he's actually protesting that with the Aarti, his way of protesting. And so the thing is, people miss that. And so the thing is, what is Guruji? First, what relates us to Hindus on a deep level? Hindus don't believe in a god of form. They believe God is formless.
Yes.
And they believe the devas are manifestations of his
particular attributes. Yeah, not the complete manifestation.
And most Hindus will say that. And most Hindus believe in Paramatma, Parameshwar. Yeah, the absolute. And just the Sikhs do, yeah? And so the Guru wasn't doing any untoward there, but the Guru at the same time was not, this is the fine line, he's going there to pay his respects to that tradition, and he's meditating there and doing tapasya there. But this is the fine line now. Why is he doing that? And this is what gets interesting. Because if you look at the Janam Sakhis, remember, outside Guru Nanak Dev Ji's door, Durga sweeping, yeah?
Yeah.
You remember, Guru Angad Dev Ji's a worshipper. Of that day. Then he follows Guru Nanak.
And renounces it, so to speak.
Because he sees her worshipping Guru Nanak.
Okay.
This is the same thing.
Okay.
So Guru,
I see you going, yeah, carry on, sorry.
Link it together. So Guru Gobind Singh Maharaj is showing the Brahmins, hey, this attribute of God, I myself, in my Guruhood, you got to look in a tantric way. Any guru has to go through tantric processes of Mahavidyas. And Mahavidyas means you have control over the gods and goddesses. Hence the Kara is given. People say, oh, they're linking us with Hindus and what is word. No, the reason why that's written is because the Guru had power over those gods.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah? Because he's one with the one. They're still in their form. But he's one with the one. He's gone into the complete absoluteness, right? And so he's showing that power over the goddess of being able to harness her power, number one, that she becomes manifest for him, that she gives her blessing for the Khalsa Panth.
Okay,
I want to finish, otherwise it's fine.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he doesn't disconnect her from the oneness itself because he's from a position of non-duality. And so the Guru isn't doing his bhakti there like the Brahmins are doing their bhakti. He's doing it for a different aim to show them that he has got the power over the goddess.
Yeah. So it's not actually in a modern sense of the goddess is blessing Guruji. It's actually Guruji is making this Shakti, this power, manifest for his...
Because they said he wasn't able to do it.
Yes.
He was challenged.
So it's not actually seeking approval to create the Khalsa. It's actually almost manifesting the energy required that is then put... Because it's like then Chandi Divan and then...
And so it's a very fine line. Do you understand what I'm saying?
But it's a fine line because of the way... it's the same facts, but it's just the way you're viewing it is the subtlety is...
subtle. And so this is after 10 years of looking at Srinivasam, the Chandi episode.
And isn't there a Gurdwara built at the place where Maharaj made the Devi Padkar?
No, that's still a mandir.
Oh, okay.
It's still a mandir, but they'll tell you that happened there. I've been there many times.
Yeah.
I asked them. And this is the interesting point is like, the whole thing with, like Brahm Kavach,
Yep.
which is quoted by Gaur Singh to be set up there. And then, the whole part of Hava, part of the Havan, and all these things which people consider controversial. We know Baba Deep Singh did a Havan.
Yeah.
We know Baba Gurbakh Singh did one before him, and Shabd Ali in the Sekatiyas. And it's all to invoke the Ard Shakti, Siri Bhagavati Ji Sahai.
Yeah.
Which you can say, but then we got to go back to Chandi, that people say, Chandi Divan, Tehin Durga Sajake. So the Ard Shakti made the Ard Shakti. So the Ard Shakti made the Ard Shakti.
The big energy made the little energy. Yeah. Is the big energy. Yeah. But that's the paradox of oneness though, isn't it? And the problem is we're in duality, so trying to understand that is the issue.
That's why Guruji forbid idol worship. Because you see, the problem with idol worship, what happens is you put the personification of God into that thing. And what the Guru was saying is, no, it's not much bigger than that. Don't look at it on a limited level. That's why Sikhs don't have idol worship. We worship Shabad. But what we've done is thrown the baby out of the bathwater with this idea. And we've gone like whitewashed all the colour out of the universe with it. That's not the idea.
No.
So it's a very fine line.
Okay.
And so I hope that makes sense.
No, it does.